Hello YouTubers, Manny here from Manny's How To Workshop, again with a video on how to season your homemade griddle. In the previous video I showed you guys how to make a homemade griddle. If you have the experience or knowledge to use a welder and cut up some scrap metal so that you can make your griddle. Alright, so in preparation for seasoning my griddle, which is I made for this gas grill right here. This is my first gas grill that I ever bought here in Florida. Still works pretty good. The only thing that doesn't work is the igniter. I removed that, but I can still use one of these here, these little lighters, these long neck lighters here, to go in there and just put some flame in there. Alright, so what you're gonna have to do in the grill, let me just bring you guys closer here, is down there you're gonna need to remove the flame barrier, or the splash guard, or flame splash guard, or I don't know what you call it, but anyway, this guy right here. Okay, right there. So yeah, the flame guard. So just remove this guy right here, because you want the full flame to come up to the bottom of your griddle. Leave this rack in place, because that provides a nice flat surface for the griddle to slide in. And so go ahead and check out my previous video, and I'm going to put a link at the top on the right hand corner, or on the right side of the previous video. Okay, so like I said, in preparation, take off the guard, leave this rack here. Also, you're going to need to remove the upper wire rack from the grill, this one right here, to make room for the griddle. Alright, so let me show you real quick my griddle right here. Again, I went ahead, this has been cleaned 3 times. So originally, right after I finished making it, I took some brake clean, sprayed it down just to get rid of any oily residue that was on there. And then I took some acetone, sprayed it down also, wiped it down really good, let that dry. And it's been under cover, this white sheet here. I've kept it under the white sheet so that moisture doesn't get in there and to start rusting the surface. All right, and then I just also cleaned it with soap and water. I just took a sponge with soap and water and went over it again, and then came back with some fresh water just to kind of get rid of the soap residue. So I'm going to put that on the grill, get the flame going, and then we'll start the process. All right, let me see if I can set you down here, right there. All right, so let me just go ahead and turn on my gas, make sure the connections are nice and snug, and go ahead and turn on the first one. Let's see. Once you light the first one, you can usually get the second one to light also. Oh, of course, now the breeze is gonna come. Come on, man. So you want to put this on high, and since mine only has dual controls, I'm gonna put them both on high so I get the most flame possible. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the griddle. I'm gonna slide that griddle right in there, all the way to the back. I can feel the heat coming out of the sides, which is good, because everything needs to get heated up on here. Okay, so and then I'm gonna close the lid to trap as much heat as possible to get this working. Now I'm actually on my driveway, part of my driveway, at the top of the driveway, so everything is leaning back this way, which for right now it shouldn't cause an issue. Yeah, everything, when you're cooking, everything might start rolling to the back, or the oil will tend to go to the back instead of coming to the front. Right here was the catch, but I'll have to come up with a different idea when I start to cook on it to maybe put it on a more level surface, so that this right here, this trough at the front, can actually work pretty good. And here's the little can. Let me go ahead and slide that in there and show you real quick how that's going to work. So you can see that the little end part that I made right there, you can hang a can. I'm probably going to make, well, I might end up using the same kind of can, but you can see the edge, if you have any grease for doing burgers and bacon and stuff like that, will come and roll right into the can right there. Alright, so let me set you back. Oops, sorry about that. Alright, let's get you down over here. So what you're going to want is to heat this up until the metal starts changing color. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the lid to trap as much heat in there as possible. And I got a little thermometer right there. Let me see if you guys can see it. And hopefully between 350 and 500, according to this little thermometer made by Charbroil, same company as my grill right there. So like I was saying, set this down. Okay, there we go. Let's actually put it right there. And you can see it's starting to smoke. It's smoking a little bit, but that's okay. You want everything to burn up. All right. So, and oh, while that's burning up, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I have also here on the left. So right here, this is for later. It's a little bit of chopped up onions. Once I season it with the oil, which this oil I got from Walmart. It's just canola oil right there. I've seen a couple of different, I've seen people using other oils, but this one was recommended, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one as well. Okay, so for right now, I really don't need the can. I'm going to keep that there. Okay, you're going to need a pair of metal tongs like these, okay, a white towel like this, so that when you start putting the oil down on it, you can, use the tongs like this and just move the oil around, because you don't want to burn yourself. Okay, and then after, this is my trusty, Griddle Spatula Set. Yep. Alright, so while that's coming up to temperature, I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys for a minute. I also have, before I put my plug, I also have a thermometer, a laser infrared thermometer, to check the surface temperature of the metal. Okay, and that's just going to be double checking what this is showing. So right now we're already approaching 200 degrees inside the grill, as you can see right there, about 200. So it's going to take a little bit for that to actually get up to temp. Like I said, I think at around 300 or so, 350 is probably going to be a good time to put the oil on there. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, just to give you guys an update, we're approaching 250 degrees. Now it's probably going to take, that gauge is probably going to show a little less than what the actual surface temperature is on the griddle, because of this opening right here. And like I said, of all days, any other day that I'm looking for a breeze, there's none, and now there's a freaking breeze. So you can see I actually put a piece right here, piece of wood right there to block the wind going across, to try to keep the flame as high as possible. I put a piece of plexiglass on that side so that the breeze doesn't get rid of some of that heat that's in there. And let's see. Well, it looks like it was going up there for a second. See, that little bit of a breeze took the trapped heat that was in there, because I guess if it's blowing by, it causes a suction. It's taking the heat away from it. But I know that the surface temperature of the griddle has got to be at least probably 250, 275, if not 300. And I will see if I can get a temperature reading here in about a minute or so. Alright, you guys, so I had to change location because that breeze was just killing me. So I just moved it inside my garage, and as you can see now the temperature's at about 375 according to the little gauge, almost approaching 400. So I'm guessing I'm close to where I can start putting the oil on there. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on there, and also now I'm a more level surface, so that's gonna help a lot. Put the oil on there, just a light coating, and let it burn off. And I might have to do that like 2 to 3 times, and that's when you know, everything's gonna be seasoned, and it should start to turn black as well. So let me go ahead and pop this open and see if I can get a temperature reading for you with the digital thermometer. Bring it back right there. All right. So we're almost at 400. Oh yeah. Let me show you that real quick. So I guess most of the heat. All right. See the difference? See how the back part, even the walls, are getting nice and dark. So it's going to have to make its way up to the front, which means in this configuration my cooking surface is going to be more towards the back. Okay, let's see if we can get a temperature reading on the surface. 350. So in the left corner is like 340 right there. On the right side, for some reason this right side is a little bit it's not as hot. So actually my cooking surface is mostly going to be on the left half, and on the right side I can just use that for keeping stuff warm. Alright, so let's put this back down again. Try to get as much heat isolated in there to make its way towards the front, and then I'll go ahead and start to put some oil on there. Alright, you guys, we are at 400 degrees on the grill gauge, and oops, wrong one. Oh, that's what that was for. Yeah, at this temperature, even this plastic handle is hot. So I'll go ahead and grab that so I don't burn myself. Yeah, let me pull this forward just a little bit, so that the top doesn't accidentally, or the wind, push that top over on while I'm doing this. So yeah, I got a nice discoloration on the metal from here all the way back there to about right to the front of the handles. So I only got about maybe a 4-inch spot right here and a 4-inch spot right there, and that heat is traveling towards the front. And if I can, let me see if I can get you guys a... Oh yeah, okay, you can see it pretty good. So you can see that discoloration in the metal. Alright, so eventually it's going to come all the way to the front, and if I, you know, let the heat keep going, but at 400 degrees, I believe when I put that oil on there, it's going to start to go ahead and burn off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the oil and the metal thongs with the white towel, and let me see. So this is good for frying, so obviously temperatures of 350, 375 is no problem for this type of oil. So we'll go ahead and just dab a little bit there. Oh yeah, you can see it smoking already. Well, that oil is just dancing on it. Alright, let's take my towel. Woo-hoo. Oop, there we go. Man, that oil just spread all over. Man, this towel is sacrificial. What? Let's do this. Whoa. Go ahead and get on the side as well. Whew, let me tell you, this thing is hot. So obviously when it's smoking this bad, it's not necessarily, you know, the temperature you want for cooking, because stuff can burn quick. But for seasoning, yeah, you're gonna have to do this. Let me give it a bit more on the towel there. Get on this side. Woo! Don't do that again. The towel is really hot just from touching right there. Also, as a safety note, guys, if you have little kids, please keep them away from the grill while you're using it, because all the way up to the front right here is going to be really hot. So you want to make sure that they stay far enough away, because like I said, this whole area is going to be hot. And because more than likely you're going to be using your settings of the knobs on high, medium to high. So, like I said, what you want to do is put the oil on there, let it burn off. As you can see, the smoke right here just completely burning off. And we'll go ahead and close this down just to help that a little bit more. Yeah, definitely do this outside because you know, if you have any what do you call it, fire alarms, they will go off for sure. So let's go ahead and pause it right there for now, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys my Griddle Spatula Set. So it comes in 3 pieces. This is the scraper, the griddle scraper. You get a long, flat spatula like this one, and you also get another long perforated one like this one, really long. So with these you can pick up like 2 burgers, 2 eggs, 2 pancakes possibly, flip them over. Okay, so let me go ahead and spin you guys around and show you what is happening so far. Let me get the camera around here so I can set you up. Alright, so I went ahead and dropped the temperature, or I should say the knobs, down to medium right there, medium flame, because the majority of the surface of the grill is nice and seasoned, as you can see. And that was only 2 times. I only put the oil in there 2 times, and it got to that point. As like I was telling you guys, it made it to the front, not all the way completely, which is fine. I don't presume to have, I'm going to be cooking a lot of stuff in the front anyway. So let's just take a temperature reading where it's at on medium. Let's see, 520. Wow. So 540. Yeah. So I'm going to lower the temperature even lower to like low, because once this metal gets hot, it's going to stay hot for a long time. That's a 1/4 inch thick metal right there. And let's see, even the front right there is about 350, 400, 375. Yeah. So you know, for cooking, all you need is like after 300. So I just dropped it down to like low, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw those onions on there and see what they do. And what's gonna happen is that every time you use it, it's gonna end up continue to season as well. Wow, listen to that sizzle. Yeah, that's good right there. Oh man, and these guys are already, so without any oil, that's what I'm doing, because you guys know that trick too, right? You take a half an onion and when you're doing a regular grill, right? Take an onion just to clean off the grate. But yeah. Now, part of this coloring right here is part of that oil that is burnt on you. Okay, so brings me back to my days when I used to work at McDonald's, flipping burgers. I think all of us have done that one time or two. But yeah, this right here is just without any oil, and just to kind of clean off the surface a little bit before putting something else on there. And like I said, I'll make another video showing you guys me cooking some breakfast items on here. And yeah, so, but I think that did it right there. So like I said, I think I put oil in there like 2 to 3 times actually, because it was a second time, between the second and third time actually I was just putting a little bit, wiping it off with the cloth right here, and so that counts as probably like 3 times. But this should be good. Smells good. So this is going to work out perfect for when my family comes down in November. I'll be out here jamming on some breakfast. So the fact that this, you know, it's cooking oil, so even after, you know, these black spots, so if your food starts to get these black spots, that's okay. That's just oil. Not going to do you any harm. But so back here seem to have the highest cooking temperature, so we'll go with that. But let's see. Yeah, that's the other thing. So these knobs are hot because all that heat's radiating towards the front. So I'm just gonna crank these up just a little bit more. Okay. So go ahead and call it a day on this one. But as you can see, let me see if I can zoom you guys in. There you go. Right there, you can see it's mostly black. Let me get the camera to point down a little bit. There we go. And yeah, so that is, let me check the temperature real quick again. Yeah, still registering in the 400s. And of course, once, you know, when I cook on here, I'm gonna put some butter on there and maybe a little bit of oil. I got some olive oil in there that I'm gonna use as well. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Hit the bell notification to get notifications for up and coming videos on my channel. Alright, you guys take care, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.